Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Dear Ficomm. Today we're going to be talking about a top mistake we see advisors make in the pursuit of growth. So this is very much real life. When you're actually trying to grow, what are the top mistakes we see that hold advisors back from reaching their goals? My name is Carolyn. I am VP of Consulting at Ficomm, and I work primarily right now within our Advisor Accelerator. So this is our program that accelerates and scales advisor growth. Prior to Ficomm, I did this work as well. I, for 7 years, was a consultant to a group of financial advisors across the country. Lots of hands-on, boots on the ground experience helping advisors with their marketing and achieving their goals. So when I look at the big question that was posed for this episode, top 2 mistakes, I know exactly the ones that matter and that almost every advisor struggles with. So let's talk about those today. I'm actually going to talk about one of them today, and number 2 I will bring into the next episode. So be sure to subscribe to always get the newest episodes of Dear Ficomm. Okay, so this question actually came in yesterday during a presentation Candace and I were giving for a group of 188 advisors. It was kind of like a fireside chat, and someone asked, what's top 2 mistakes you see? And without hesitating, I know one of them is as simple as showing up consistently. Let me dive into exactly what this looks like. But if you look at marketing and you look at growth, what actually works is consistent, smart action, which is kind of part 2, but consistent action over time. So you've made a very strategic decision to do something, and once that thing is identified, it's showing up and doing it over time. In order to do this, the mistake I see, because most people can get on board with, okay, I got to do this consistently, but the mistake is not time blocking your calendar and adding accountability for those time blocks. So right now, you might be able to relate to this, where you have the idea, but you might execute for a bit, but then motivation weans and then you fall off the wagon, right? This is what can be the kind of kiss of death of marketing plans. So the fix is to time block on your calendar. We recommend, if you're in growth mode, you're spending at least 6 hours a week on your action items. So time blocking that across your calendar and actually doing the work during those times. Let's say a client issue comes up and Wednesday morning you can't record your video for YouTube, so you have to do this. You have to pay attention to your clients. We understand that really happens. But what needs to then happen is the block is moved to a different time that week. So it's the accountability to actually doing it. What does accountability look like? So you now have your 2 time blocks. You do 3 hours on Monday morning and you do 3 hours on Wednesday morning, and you have your action plan that's very strategic. So you just show up and you have to take your actions. Who's going to keep you accountable to doing it? Usually, this becomes an opportunity to either elicit help or buddy up. So maybe someone is helping you do these actions. Maybe you've hired out a freelancer, or maybe you have an agency you're working with, or maybe it's simply another advisor in your office that's also working on growth. You need to make an agreement about what accountability looks like. So I've promised to do these things by this date, and I'm showing up to do them. And if I don't, what happens? Because simply saying, oh, I won't grow as fast is too delayed of a feedback loop. You need something more immediate. So you could Google this. There are accountability hacks that you could try out. That will be very much up to you and what motivates you and what kind of program or setup or procedure would help you feel accountable. But let me zoom out for a moment here. Let's say you've time blocked, you have your strategic action items, and it's just about being accountable to doing them. One advisor that I've worked with, her name is Michelle. Hi, Michelle. She has done consistent content for years. And she did it before it was even, the cool thing to do, right? She was one of the more trailblazing advisors that I have spoken with. And she said the reason she is accountable to consistently showing up to her action plan is because she wants to be the kind of advisor that clients know they can depend on. That she is reliable, that she is consistent, and that she's always there to show up for her clients. So it's actually like a very deep intrinsic motivation that Michelle has. She pairs her marketing consistency with also the body language of being consistent. So imagine you consistently get an email from the person you follow, or you consistently get an email from your advisors in your life. What does that say about them? It says that they are diligent, they are organized, they show up on time. There's a whole body language also to consistently showing up. And it really, really matters to the human's experience of, I can trust this person, they are dependable. So even that frame of mind could support you in being accountable. But really, when push comes to shove, one of the top 2 mistakes I see is advisors are not showing up consistently because they have not blocked their calendar and they have not set up accountability measures. If you want help setting up your own ideas or more kind of like thoughts or specific details around this topic, feel free to shoot me a note and I will create another video following up with you about it. We love creating these Dear Ficomm videos and helping advisors across the country grow. So please do not hesitate to send us your questions. That's all for today. I'll see you in episode 23 for the second top issue that we see advisors have when they are in the pursuit of growth.